SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Clark.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any contact.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, party on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning on a Monday morning. How are you? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a fantastic time. And we're running out of time. It's beautiful weather. Why do I have this nagging fear it's not going to stay this way? We're going to have another hot spot here somewhere. We shall see. Right now, we've got in studio with us Debbie. I wear 16 hats, and I'm really good at balancing them on top of my head. Watkins, how you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm great. Like you said, it's a beautiful day.
It really is. Gorgeous weather. Those may not work, so you may just need to take them off. They're bothering you. I can tell.
I'm like, I can't hear anything.
So, let's see. Which one of your 18 things are we going to talk about? I mean, obviously, we have the play coming up.
Yes.
There's shoeboxes involved in something somewhere.
Yes. I need to come another day and talk shoeboxes because it's time.
You're cranking up pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. What is today? What's the date?
The 21st.
Today is the 21st?
Oh, no, I just gave her bad news. Yes, today is the 21st.
Oh, my stars. So we're like a month. We're a month from shoebox collection. What?
A little less than that. When is the official start date for shoebox collection? He asked someone who wasn't prepared for the question.
Why didn't you say, hey, I'm going to ask you, 18th, November 18th through the 25th is Shoebox Collection Week. Your local drop-off spot is right here, Southwest Community College Workforce Building. And
the Workforce Training Center will be filled with elves.
It will.
When the collection starts.
That back conference room or whatever that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the official name of that is.
It has a name, I'm sure. But that big room at the back of this building will be full of shoeboxes during that week.
They actually fill it up.
It is. It's. We have tables filling the room, and there are times when every one of those tables has shoeboxes on it.
We'll get you back in here to talk about it, and hopefully you'll have enough advance notice so that you can be prepared.
It's always the week before Thanksgiving, folks. Every year it's the week before Thanksgiving. So that's a good way to know.
That's for everything to have time to sort through and get out and get delivered.
Right. They leave from here and go to Atlanta, and then they're processed in Atlanta, and then they get on big trucks and go to ports and airports and
Well,
all the things.
Luckily for you guys, the stores have now started dealing with Christmas in like May.
Oh, yeah.
Because, Thanksgiving, giving thanks is no big deal. We shouldn't pay any attention to that.
I know, it drives me crazy. Now, I don't mind. I don't mind when they put supplies out, like crafting supplies. That I don't mind seeing that in the summer, because I know people need to get those things to prepare for the crafting season and the festival season. So that is fine. But the other stuff is, chill.
You need a tree topper in May. We got to discuss your scheduling.
Exactly.
That's my thought on it.
Now, I'm all about all the things. I can be excessive when it comes to Christmas decorating and all that, but I don't do it till Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving. When I was growing up, many moons ago in Maryland, we had a big mall, and when we went shopping the day after Thanksgiving, that's when the Christmas decorations were up.
And of course, all the lights were actual candles on the branches and
it wasn't that long ago.
The stores had the gas lanterns mounted on the walls. The horse and buggy got you there in a fair amount of time.
Exactly, exactly.
I understand.
We had to start 2 days in advance to get to the mall.
For some reason, we got off on complaining about Christmas creep. But if you've ever tuned in when Debbie is on the show with me, we may start off talking about what we need to, but it's never going to stay there.
Oh, no, we go round the world because there are so many things at this moment. There are so many different things that we could talk about.
That's exactly right. Now, the big one, though, the one we got you for today is, and I don't think I've commented on this enough, the State Street Not So Junior players are proud to present Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes, a classic. And so first, for anyone that's not aware of what the Not So Junior Players is all about, we began 2 years ago. We began I said that, and then I was calculating. 2020 was when we.
So that's 4 years ago.
That's 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
you were halfway there. You're doing
mercy
okay.
me. So when we began the State Street Junior Players, the purpose was to just provide more opportunities for young people, because we were starting to see the talent in this area, and we thought, okay, we need to give them more choices. So we started the junior players, and most of the time that age group is 10 to 12 through college. So as long as they're still in school, they can be part of the junior players.
Makes sense.
Yes.
That's a logical cutoff.
It is, and that's a good. Now we've had younger kids involved, but they have been, extras, part of the ensemble, chorus, or things like that. So the thing is, there's a big difference between a 10-year-old and an 18-year-old.
Yes.
Okay. Now, a lot of times it works because in a play, you may have parents and children, those characters represented. But as they get older and they've had more experience, we want to give them, some other opportunities to perform. So that's one of the reasons for the Not So Junior Players, is these kids that are upper, high school and into college. That gives them a chance to be a part of a cast that also involves really not so junior players.
Hence the name on the billboard, the playbill here. You've got to expand it a little bit.
Yeah. So now this cast, we have several 16-year-olds, and then more than that. So many years more than that. But and it's great.
So
it's
like
great
19
to work with
year olds?
them. Yeah, 19, 29. 29 years. 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 29 years 49, more than that. And some of them are working backstage, so, and that's also a thing for us. We want them to experience every aspect of theater, because community theater ain't nobody getting paid.
No.
And we want them to understand that it's not just performing. You have to invest in the other parts of what it takes to put on a play. And so that gives us an opportunity to use them backstage while, some others are performing. So this cast is a variety. We've got some of our kids that have been in several shows that have just been phenomenal, and they are that in this one as well. It is so well cast. Katie Quinn, who is our director for this one, and there's no co-director for this show because the usual co-director is in the cast.
Not going to call any names, he said, pointing vigorously towards Debbie.
So it is an opportunity for those of us that, really do like to perform, to stay on the stage every once in a while. So this is one of those opportunities, and this cast is so fun. We have had a great time putting this together, and I think our audiences are going to have a wonderful evening at the theater with this Agatha Christie classic. And it's fun to do something that's a familiar title, because people have seen it. Well, then they can come and go, oh, I remember that from the movie, or oh, that was different from the movie, but cool, or whatever. And got a fun set that spins around multiple times.
Oh, now you have my attention.
Yeah.
Is there any risk of anyone getting flung off into the? Oh, okay. No. Not that kind of spinning.
I mean, not spin. Let's say a slow turn.
It rotates.
It does rotate.
It rotates.
So because we've got, obviously it's set on a train. And we have one side of the set is the dining car, and the other side are the berths. That the correct terminology.
Oh yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah.
So, I'm feeling more cultured by the moment, Debbie. But continue, please.
And speaking of culture, it's many. Just about everybody has an accent of some sort for this one, so that's been fun working on our accents. And what's really fun is one of our international students, one of our Canadian students who speaks fluent French, has a little cameo voice appearance.
See, here's the thing. This is why they don't let me be in charge of things. Because if I was in charge of a play and I had someone that spoke fluent French, I would immediately stick them doing the Russian accent just to mess with their head. Just to broaden their horizons, you know?
Well, it's been so funny because when we first started with table reads, there is a part really that starts the show that is an announcer, like, at a train station. Yeah. And he's giving the announcement that a train is arriving.
Arrivals, departures.
And, right, and he does it first in French and then in English. So, we were butchering it during the table read with, different people. And I was like, wait a minute. I have two guys at the dorm that are from Canada that speak French.
And we were off to the races.
And so when I saw Steve, I said, here, read this little paragraph right here for me. And so when he read the French part, I was like, oh yeah, that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Come with me right now. Get in the car right now.
That's what it's supposed to sound like.
It's those
so it's
little
fun.
details that just kind of fall into place
Yes.
that nobody thinks about when you get together and you go, we ought to do Murder on the Orient Express. You don't see these chains of events coming that pull it all together.
Right. When you get told, okay, so you're going to play the Russian princess. Okay. All right. And I really, to begin with, I was like, okay, well, she's a princess, so we're going to hang on to that part.
That's all I got. It's the only hook I can hang a hat on here.
I'm going to say, yeah, but she, at least she's a princess. She may not smile and she may be a little on the gruff side, but she's a princess. So we're going to take that. But, so to begin with, I was like, oh, okay, let's see. And as I continued to develop the character and work on the accent, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. So now, I talk to my dogs with a Russian accent. They're a little freaked out. They don't know what's going on, but
good for them. Again, broadening their horizons as well. Let's talk about the rest of the cast.
Yes.
You got some great people. Run through them.
We have. Yeah, we got a great the lead who's playing Hercules Poirot.
I have never in my life been able to pronounce that name.
I'm still not doing it. I want to say Hercules.
Yeah, well, it's only an S away, so it makes sense.
So that is Seth Karras. Now, if you were at the Little Theater's performances a couple of weeks ago, Seth was in that show. So that speaks of the incredible talent that we have in Seth, in that he was preparing 2 shows.
Yes.
At the same time.
I would expect no less.
I don't know how.
Seth is just that good.
He really, really is. So we have Seth playing the detective. And then we have Michael Graves, who most of you haven't seen for a little minute because
he vanished.
He's been working on his master's degree in theater, and is now back he's in Hammond, so he's somewhat local. He's closer than he was.
Well, he was in Chicago, wasn't he? Yeah.
He is so good too, and he's so fun to work with. Over the years, he and Seth have been my 2 favorite people to be opposite of in any show, and they're both just so good. And then we have Michelle McCullough. Michelle is her first performance with us was in Clue. And she was so good in that. And she and her husband, Brian, are just such assets to our group. Brian does the box office for us. And so they're a lot of fun. Then we've got Jana Young. Jana is seasoned. She has done, she's been a part of multiple theater groups in Louisiana, and is just fabulous. She plays the gal from Minnesota. So she has had fun trying to get that accent down as well. Shane Adams. Shane plays the conductor, and he's got 2 parts, but he's keeping everything going. And
that costume collar would drive me insane.
It may be a little uncomfortable.
I'm just looking at his cast photo, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I like to swallow. I'm not going to wear that thing. Sorry.
Jeremiah Benner. Jeremiah is the not the owner, but he runs the railroad, the Wagon Lit. And so he's very integral in all the things that are happening and trying to figure out what's going on in all of this. Our younger cast members, we have Baylor Harrington, he's one of the best character actors that I have seen. He's young and so talented. And this one, he plays the assistant to the bad guy, to that gangster guy. And his character is described as being nervous and, a little antsy. And I mean, he pulls it off beautifully. And the guy that he is assisting is Jason Galt. And Jason has been so fun. He's, I've known him for years and years. And this is a, pretty good role for him. And, his forte is comedy. And he and Timothy have been friends for many moons. And so it's fun to work with him in this setting. So that's Jason. Who we got left? We've got
Carly, Southwest Community College.
Yes,
student.
Carly. And when Carly first came to us at the Junior Players, she could barely look me in the eye. And she was like, just backstage, I'll just do something. If I could just do something backstage, I just want to be a part. And so we put her backstage for Alice in Wonderland. And I thought, I bet there's another little something that she could do. So I asked her if she would like to be one of the cards in the Queen of Hearts garden.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you don't have to say anything. You're just going to wear this cardboard thing, the card. And so she was like, I could do that. So she did. She kind of tiptoed, across the stage. And then the next thing we did was Legally Blonde. And we had gotten to know her a little bit, and we thought, there's a part that she would be so good for. And we talked her into that, and after that, she has been wide open. And so she's fun. She plays my sidekick in this show, and so it's fun to kind of play off of her. But she's crazy talented as well. I mean, it really is a talented group. And then the other young person is
Carly Taylor.
Yeah,
we didn't
Carly
get her last name.
Carly Taylor, and then Anley Kinsley.
You were close. You were right in the ballpark.
Yeah.
You got there in the end.
She's another incredibly talented young person, and she's got a significant role in this show and does it very, very well. She's a countess. So did I get everybody?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. What you're hearing here, by the way, I don't know if you picked up on this, is if you just get the kids to show up, they belong to Debbie forever. She will drag them into things they never signed up for. She will force them to do things they're not comfortable doing, and then they'll grow as a person and have a great time.
Absolutely. That's what theater is all about. And I have said, many, many times, we've got to give our kids opportunities to experience different things, to find their thing. And I remember one of the times that I was speaking to the board, the city board, about the importance of the theater and having the theater available for us to use for this and different things. And I said, we like to talk about at-risk, an at-risk population of youth. Every one of our youth are at risk. They're one stupid mistake away from ruining their lives. I mean, period. And there's too many opportunities for the dumb stuff. It's everywhere. And we've got to counter that.
Let me just say, as a former young person, dumb stuff is pretty much all you do. I mean, that's it.
Dumb stuff, yeah. Dumb things. And if you do one dumb enough, then you're in trouble. And most of the time, the dumb things are because they're searching for something, a place to belong, or, that's what gangs are. They just need a plan. Okay, we're getting way off the beaten path.
And we're like 10 minutes over time already.
Oh, so. Goodness gracious.
we're not going to get into that because we will be here until midnight.
But anyway, theater for a lot of kids is their thing. And I've had parents come and say after just the first experience that a child has, and they have the kids have gone home and said, I found my people. And that's true.
Then it's over. Then again, Debbie has them forever at that point. They belong to her. They are her property.
But we love it. We sure have a good time. So theater's wonderful.
Well, it's a fantastic thing for the kids to have available to them.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
Murder on the Orient Express. When, where, how do you get tickets?
Okay, so the when is this week. We open Thursday night, and we will run Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m., and then Sunday at 2 p.m. This performance is at the State Theater. And when you come to see the Murder on the Orient Express, you're going to be the first audiences to sit in our lovely, comfortable, new to us seats that are we are so grateful. And it is thanks to this great establishment of Southwest Community College that offered the old seats from the Fine Arts Building to us, and we are so thankful.
Is there any truth to the rumor that these seats are so fancy that you must hold your pinky up as you sit down? I had heard that.
Well, I don't know about that, but I will tell you this. You can be sitting in the seat, and someone can pass in your row, and you do not have to stand up. So I know tall folks such as yourself will appreciate that.
That is one of the banes of my existence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that was one of the things we did. We said, let's make them as comfortable as we can, and it is truly comfortable to sit in this theater now.
Tickets available at the
tickets
door?
are $10. Available at the door. We also have some sources. If you want to go ahead and get your ticket in advance,
she knows the guy.
The Morning Rail,
back behind
our friends at the Morning Rail restaurant downtown Macomb have got tickets. There are tickets available at the at Natural Health, which is Katie Quinn's store. And then if you can just find me on campus or wherever, I have tickets with me. But we do anticipate there being tickets at the door. Now, we have a lovely number of seats, but we do not have as many seats as we did have because these seats are wider and the space between rows is bigger. So, we have seats. If you want to be sure that you get to see the show, get your ticket in advance.
So you can go ahead and get them right now and get ready to go.
Yes, absolutely.
And bring are these for sale?
No, they're not for the playbills.
No.
Oh, the pictures. Wouldn't it be? We probably we might should. If you haven't seen
the cast photo yet, holy cow!
Yeah, that's Manuel Scott. He's Fabo, and he does our cast photography. Did our headshots and did that cast photo. Every time I look at it, I just go, man, that is a great picture.
That is stunningly professional.
Yeah, it is.
I
agree.
The whole thing, all of you in the picture, the framing of it, the setting, all of it, that is just stunningly professional. That photo. You could sell that as a poster. I'm dead serious.
Yeah. Okay, so follow us on Facebook if you don't already, but all of this information is on Facebook, State Street Junior Players, and come see it. The show, it really is a good show. I said this is a classic. Most people are at least somewhat familiar with the storyline, but even if you're not, we're going to tell the story. So
that's kind of the point.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Come
And
on either
remember,
way.
If you get any spare kids wandering around with too much time on their hands, Debbie will put them to work.
Yes, and we will be very soon. We will be announcing, doing a season reveal for next season and our Fern Awards and all that. So again, another conversation.
Yeah. We have
come every day.
We have Debbie booked every other day from now until the end of the year because reasons. Debbie Watkins, always enjoy having you in here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
I would say keep up the good work, but I'm not sure you're constitutionally able to take a break.
Cannot, yeah.
3 letters. I have 3 letters for you. N-A-P. Take one. Swear I get tired watching this one. We will continue here on Super Talk Mississippi Pike County right after this.
Hey, this is Kristen with Selman's coming to you with Trivia of the Week. Last week's question was, what percentage of gold is in 14 karat gold jewelry? The answer, 58.5% gold. Gold is at an all-time high right now, so come stop by if you've got any laying around that you'd like to cash in and we will buy it. This week's question is, what is the name of a square-cut gemstone or diamond? This trivia brought to you by Selman's, 1311 Delaware Avenue, Macomb.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast, missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com, it's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have a break. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com, it's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on Super Talk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com and through your Alexa devices. Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County, 93.5. Monday morning, start of another beautiful week. Unfortunately, it being beautiful is part of the problem right now because, as you are aware, we are under a burn ban now. Pike County did go ahead and pull the trigger on that. It's a red flag warning, has been for a while. And it's pretty much all of Southwest Mississippi. I know we focus on Pike County here, but Amid County is under a burn ban. Walthall County is under a burn ban. You can kind of piece it together from there. And it's because of what's vexing Mo's this morning. Said, good morning. We're about to start baling our third hay cutting of the year, but it's been so dry we might get half of our regular yield. I have bad news regarding the dryness. There is no break in that dryness in the 7-day forecast. All 7 days, all the way through Sunday afternoon. Sunny skies during the day, clear skies at night. Not even a cloud. We don't even have cloudy sky. We don't even have partly cloudy skies in the forecast. It's all clear and sunny and beautiful. Normally, you like to see a stretch like this. Unfortunately, the stretch is kind of stretching out a bit. So, yeah, it would be nice to see a line of thunderstorms come through. That's just not in the cards right now. Temperatures are going to stay low to mid 80s during the day, mid to upper 50s at night. And it is a very rock solid forecast. There is no change for the next 7 days. What that means is, well, don't be expecting the burn ban to change anytime soon. It is in effect until November 30th. Could it be lifted early? Oh, sure. Is it going to be lifted early if we don't get just a drenching downpour of rain that lasts several days? No. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil this for you right now. The burn ban is in effect. It covers burning anything outside. They do allow a grill. Aside from that, if you set fire to something outside, you're breaking the law. Good job, you criminal. I don't want to hear you griping about other criminals out there causing problems, because setting something on fire right now could burn your neighbor's house down. And that's not even hyperbole. That's where we're at. It is so crispy dry out there. One thing that I saw that I don't see mentioned often enough, I told you last week, there were a couple of days in a row, 2-3 days in a row, where I'm driving in Pike County and passed by a grass fire. There were people out there tending to it and getting it taken care of. One of them looked like probably someone had thumped a lit cigarette out the car window. It had that look to it, just from the placement and everything else. It's solely a guess, but I think that's a pretty educated guess. That's a no-no. You don't do that. Not during a burn ban. If it's raining outside, well, actually, if it's been raining for a few days, you could, consider going back to littering one butt at a time, which is also illegal, by the way. But for right now, don't do it at all. But there's one other aspect of it, and I saw Mississippi Emergency Management, MEMA, put this out the other day, when they were talking about the burn bans and talking about the dry weather that we're going through. They mentioned lit cigarettes. They also mentioned making sure your trailer chain is not dragging. You have probably seen this. Somebody's driving down the road. They have a trailer chain. It's a little too loose. It's dragging. It's hitting the pavement. And what's it doing? If you've ever seen one, you know what it's doing. It's shooting off sparks. And you may think to yourself, oh, well, that's not going to cause a problem. That's not going to start a fire. It's just a spark in the middle of the road. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case. Unfortunately, that will most definitely lead to a problem. We've seen it. It's happened. So it's all those kind of little things that you have to keep in mind when we have a burn ban. We just went through this last year with a big drought. Hopefully, this is not going to continue on to that extent. Hopefully, we'll get some rain at some point in the next few weeks. But it ain't this week. So, once again, nobody cares about your limb pile. I know it's the most important thing in your entire universe is to burn the limb pile or to burn the leaf pile. Don't. They will come. They will write you a ticket. You will have problems if you do that right now for very good reasons. Just don't set anything on fire outside, no matter how small. Nothing. no fires because, well, it's going to lead to a bad place otherwise. Talking about the weather, by the way, I don't know if you saw, there was a hurricane that kind of popped up out of nowhere and hit Cuba. Oscar is the name. It's back down to a tropical storm as it passes over Cuba. Right now, they are forecasting that storm, as you would expect. When a storm goes over land, it starts hooking to the right, basically. That's what they're saying this one's going to do, and it's going to go out into the Atlantic and not be a problem for anybody. So it's been a problem for Cuba, but not a problem for us here on the mainland, so we don't have to worry about that. Nadine, that everybody had these scare graphics about, yeah, that went over the isthmus of Panama and vanished. That was the end of that one. That was nothing whatsoever. So right now, aside from Oscar, which is going to be going out into the Atlantic, possibly up towards Bermuda, aside from that, nothing. The tropics are clear. The weather patterns have calmed down severely. In a way, good, but at the same time, a good couple of days of rain would do us a world of good. We're just not going to get it. Swapping topics slightly. Shootings. I have a little piece of advice as I keep up with all of this. You know, they had the shooting at the Laurel County Fair at the end of the week. We have had around the country, you had the homecoming school shooting in Georgia. You had another homecoming school shooting here in Mississippi. You had a shooting at a high school age party with a few hundred people at it in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Do you notice a common denominator in all of this? Big groups of people. It was one of those, and I'd have to look it up. I don't remember which one, but there were one of those where they literally just started firing into a crowd of several hundred people. I believe it was the one in Georgia. It might have been the case here in Mississippi as well, up in Holmes County. I see people all day, every day online and hear them. I have conversations bemoaning the fact that this is happening. This is horrible, and somebody ought to do something. Now, this is just me talking, okay? This is just me, and I realize this can be a problematic attitude. Fully understand that. Some people have a problem with it. How about we stop getting together in large groups for a minute? Every time we do that here lately in America, it seems like somebody opens fire. Now, admittedly, I'm not a party person. I never have been. It's not my thing. I realize there are some people that can't function without a large group of people around them. Again, it's their thing. But at some point, we have to start considering safety. The Beastie Boys already fought for our right to party. There's no need to go through that again. It just seems to me like every time we hear, and it seems like every weekend, we have a spate of these things all around the country. And it's always at a club or a party. Always. Street party, a house party, whatever. I have seen enough of these stories over the last few months, with the vast majority of them, including the word party in the story. It feels like there might be a little bit of correlation there. I'm not really sure going to the party is a good idea right now, because people have gotten, well, I started to say people have gotten stupid. They've gotten stupider. This is not a new development. Just throwing it out there. I don't know. That's just me. I fully realize that's just me. I fully realize that Americans should be free to do what they want to do as long as it's legal. And going to a party is 100% legal. As long as you're not up to something. So yes, from that aspect, I get it. I just don't know if there's a party, for me personally, I don't know if there's a party on planet Earth that's worth dying over. I think the grand total from those shootings over the weekend was, I think it was 5 killed and over a dozen in the hospital, several of them with critical injuries. I'm just not sure. Getting together in a big group and shaking that thing is worth not being here tomorrow over. But again, my preference. I realize that. I also realize that in America, we should be able to gather together and party and have a good time and do whatever we want to do. Again, as long as we're not breaking any laws, we're doing things legally and safely, fine. Yes, everybody should be able to do that at all times, 100%. You should also only pay about 1% in taxes, and a loaf of bread should still be a quarter. None of that exists anymore either. Times change. I just think we need to examine this particular type of behavior and maybe modify it somehow. In an effort to try to, again, I know this is a horrible reason, in an effort to try to keep people alive. If you don't believe me that that's a horrible reason, someone will be along shortly, I'm sure, to explain why that's a horrible idea. Because if there's one thing we do not have a shortage of on planet Earth right now, it's people with not enough information expressing opinions that nobody else asked for about things that don't directly affect them. That's our entire culture at the moment. Which brings up, by the way, we're 2 weeks and 1 day away from Election Day. I still remember when I was a kid, little kid, just like all little kids, excited, almost to the point of passing out every year for Christmas. And the closer it got, the more excited I was. The fat guy was going to break in the house and leave stuff. It was going to be great. There was going to be all sorts of good food and cookies. Maybe my mom would make some of that fudge. Has her own fudge recipe that she developed from scratch. I pity all of the poor slobs on this planet who have never had it. Oh, you missed out. So Christmas, quiveringly excited. It was a big deal. You waited all year long. It felt like a decade that you waited when you were a little kid. Because you're so excited and you're so ready for it to get here and be here. Because it's going to be fun. Going to be honest, with the election right now, with the coverage, with the increase in the temperature of the sniping and the nonstop back and forth, well, actually, it's not the same thing at all. If you cry, Christmas, I was excited for it to be here. I'm talking to more and more people who are excited at the thought of the election being over at this point. Can we have it tomorrow? There's not going to be a lot of votes swung one way or the other in the next 2 weeks. We're kind of where we're at. So let's see what happens. If you've been keeping up, you know what's going to happen. It's looking more and more certain what's going to happen, and we're all going to be grinning so hard, our jaws are going to ache on November 6th. but we can't assume that. Final break. Going to close it down for a Monday morning right after this. Keep it here.
Hey, this is Kristen with Selman's coming to you with trivia of the week. Last week's question was, what percentage of gold is in 14 karat gold jewelry? The answer, 58.5% gold. Gold is at an all-time high right now, so come stop by if you've got any laying around that you'd like to cash in and we will buy it. This week's question is, what is the name of a square-cut gemstone or diamond? This trivia brought to you by Selman's, 1311 Delaware Avenue, Macomb.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, but just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them, really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing.
Yep, we are out of time. If you would like to put on your mystery solving hat, by the way, they'd like to talk to you in Texas. Maybe you could help out. Bexar County, the sheriff's department there, says that a man in a new model Chevy Silverado pulled into a cul-de-sac in the San Antonio area and dumped out a perfectly good locked safe. A decent size safe. Just drug it out, dumped it on the side of the road, and drove off. Nobody knows who did it. Nobody knows what's in it. If you've ever seen any television show ever, I think we all know it's a body. It would have to be, right? So there's your discussion topic. What's in the mystery dump safe in Texas? The way things have been going the last decade, it's probably pre-filled out ballots for 2 weeks from now. Have a wonderful day. Be careful. Don't set anything on fire. Tomorrow morning, back in the chair for middays. I will see you at 10:06. My friend, see you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.